Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are calling from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who know me, hello. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Jenna Lang. I'm the CEO and founder of Lang International, and we are running these coffee and comms 20-minute sessions. Why? Because why not? For fun, to give you tips, to give you a little bit of an idea of something you can practice under the umbrella of high stakes communication. And today I could not be more excited than to have Tiffany Wendel here. Why? Why am I excited to have Tiffany, and why is she here? And what does she have to do with communication? So let me tell you, right? Like, what do you have to do with communication? So Tiffany is my go-to person to work with the stars. And what I mean by that is I refer Tiffany and have referred Tiffany many, many times to my leaders who are getting ready to take the stage. And by the way, when I'm getting ready to take stage, because we worked together, I don't know if you remember years ago, and you came into my wardrobe and you fixed everything up. You told me what to put together, and I totally remember that. But she's the go-to person when people are saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm going back to work and I don't know what to wear," or "I'm getting on this camera and I'm talking to thousands of people. What do I wear?" And I'm getting up on a stage and what do I wear? And we struggle with that. You'd think it'd be easy, but it's hard because it is a reflection of who we are, and it does impact how people listen to us.
Yes.
So I thought, let's bring Tiffany on and she can talk to us about what to wear, what not to wear, and how to think about dress in terms of our persona and how we show up and our presence. Did I get that right, Tiffany? How'd I do in my introduction?
You did. And yes, absolutely.
This is, yeah. So, I mean, because we're doing this, everybody's looking at what we're wearing right now. Let's just acknowledge that, right? I'm wearing a red tank top and a white blazer, and you're wearing a pink jacket that looks fantastic. So, yes, we look at that and we decide, I'm going to listen to you. I'm not going to listen to you. How does it influence your message? So, I will start with this first slide, Tiffany, which I love because you are giving us this first glance of things to avoid. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and why you have these pictures on here?
Yes, so I am a stylist, and one of the categories that I focus on is consulting executives. And my key objective is to bring confidence and take this one piece off of an executive's plate. So I want to have them show up to an event and know that what they are wearing is on point, know that what they're doing is right for the event. I want to bring out a personality and also have it be appropriate. And so, yeah, this slide is
awesome.
A great place to bounce off of because let's start with just the far upper left here. You know, she looks great, but she looks like she's going to lunch with friends.
Okay.
The problem that I'm having with this outfit is the shoe, because especially for women, our shoe can be our PowerPoint. Our shoe can be a topic of conversation. It can be a tiny heel. It can be a flat, but it should not be a walking shoe when you're trying to command respect. So this is an example of not using shoe as your PowerPoint, not using it as a play. When we move over one slide with the jean jacket, again, our jacket, like, you know, the structured shoulder, the color, the lapel can be another sign of confidence. It can actually even change the way we stand on stage, having a jacket that works. Also, you don't know if you're going to be mic'd. You don't know. We find that stuff out ahead of time, and we make sure that you have a point to put your mic, that it's covered by your jacket. To me, she's not showing strength in this jacket choice. This is a weekend choice. As we move over, we have this hoodie, which is awesome and fun, but not something that you want to wear on stage. Even if you are a hoodie person, we would switch that out for a crisp sweater. We would give you a little bit more sleek look, and it can still be you, but the hoodie is just too casual, too weekend.
So this is really important, Tiffany, because we have so many people that are like, wait a second, I'm a tech executive. We wear hoodies.
Exactly.
I'm a tech executive. I wear hoodies. And then for me also, when you looked at that tennis shoe, I'm thinking, Yeah, I'm always I'm trying to bring that tennis shoe look in.
Yes, and so we could switch that into a crisp white shoe that is still
Mm,
you, but looks like it's meant for stage. And the
love it.
hoodie, I think that's so important because it kind of relates to the next slide with the Crocs and the t-shirts and the jeans. It's like,
Yeah,
well, this is who I am and this is who I'm speaking to, right? This
that's
is
great.
the audience is all techs, all engineers. You want to level up. You want to take your outfit, put it on an elevator, and take it one level up from your audience. So this is where it's like this may be where you were, but now in this new position where you're on stage, where you're in charge, you need to find a way. And maybe it's just like I said, maybe it's just wearing the button down without the hoodie, maybe it's putting on a sweater. We'll still make it you, but we'll level you up.
I love that. I love it. And by the way, Tiffany, great gesture and love the fact that it's within the frame. Best practice for anybody looking here. This is what we want to be doing. I love it. I love it.
Great.
These are fantastic. Can you talk a little bit about the scarf and then let's move on to things we should do?
Okay, I love that. Yes, I would love to talk about. I'll zip the scarf.
Yeah.
Too much, too many accessories. Your people are going to notice the scarf and the ruffle and the shoe before they notice you. We want to keep it clean.
Too many accessories. Okay. And then you've got this very dapper suit. What's up with that? Is that not okay?
That is okay if you are talking to a corporate crowd, but if you're going to be talking to young engineers, you're going to be talking to young tech conference, you want to be relatable. And if you show up in a suit that looks very almost like banker suit,
Yeah.
they will immediately think you don't get them.
And by the way, this is not saying that you cannot dress like for the bankers out there. Yeah, go for it. We're not
Oh,
saying, oh, don't look like
oh,
a banker. It's cool to look like a banker. We
and,
love
if,
that. We
and
absolutely
this
love
is
that.
a
Yeah.
gorgeous outfit, but I would say if you're talking, it depends on the crowd.
It
You may want to
depends on the
lose the
crowd.
tie.
Yeah.
Lose
And
the
then what
tie.
you said is so important is to be relatable because if
Yeah,
I come across relatable with what I'm wearing, then my audience is going to feel safe with me. They're going to
yes.
feel like they can ask me questions. They're going to feel like they can engage. They're going to feel like they want to listen.
They're going to
So
feel like
that,
there's some trust and
yeah.
that you get them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll never forget. I might have told you this story. I was working with, and for anybody who's on this call who's ever worked at Levi's, I was working with Levi's and I don't know what to wear, right? Do I wear Levi's? Of course, right? It's their company, it's their product. You should wear Levi's, but I didn't know what brand, like what style of Levi's to wear. So I was working with a merchandising team and I wore back in the day, an Ann Taylor cream suit and a like turtleneck, like a aquamarine turtleneck into the merchandising team at Levi's. These are the coolest people on the planet, right? They had like
Yes.
ink, everything was pierced.
Yes.
They're so cool. And I show up all corporate and I'll never forget this one woman looked at me. She crossed her arms. She stared at me and she went like this. Like visibly shook her head, like I am not going to listen to this person. And it took me all day to win her back.
Yes, exactly. And I've worked with Levi's and I know that crowd. And instantly you lost trust points the minute you walked in.
The minute I walked in. Yeah. So let's look at this. What to do.
Okay. Well, this so first slide on the upper left is just a clean look. It says, I know what's up. I'm trying to send a message. We could do a pop of a color shoe. These women look powerful. They've got a strong shoulder. They've got one thing that we really need to pre-prepare on is fit, getting your items tailored. If your pants are pooling at the bottom, people are going to notice that you don't have an attention to detail. So that first slide is all about fit. Second slide also, she looks youthful. This is a client. She looks amazing. She also has this heel that gives her that power. Don't need a heel, but she looks like she's modern but professional. The third look over is really expressing who she is. She is a fashion woman. She loves to dress in a dress, but this dress walks the line. It's a good length. It's a good fit. It has a sleeve, and then she has her fun shoe. It works wonderfully. And down through another dress that really is perfect, has some print and color, which may express her personality, but it's not overwhelming with the background. We always look at the background of the stage before the speaking engagement to make sure you're not a clash.
Oh, that's so important. That is so
Yes.
important.
Oh my
That has
goodness.
come up for a lot of my clients too, because it's not just what you're wearing, it's who you are.
Oh,
And do you as a person stand out with the
oh
background?
yeah.
And
If
if
you've
you
got a
don't,
lime green background, you don't want to be in lime green.
Yeah,
You're going to look like you're
absolutely.
on a green screen.
Absolutely. That is so. Hey, I want to just mention to we have a really funny comment that came in here from
Oh,
Brandy Paul. I had someone that was overdressed for an interview start taking off his jacket tie during the interview, which I think is hilarious, right? I
oh
wore the
my
wrong outfit. Could you
God.
imagine? You just let's go to the bathroom and change and come back and do the interview. That's
He's
fantastic.
like,
All
I
right.
did not read the room on this. That
Yeah,
is,
let's move over to the gentleman and what you see
yes.
there.
Okay, so great. This is a client up on the upper left, and he's in entertainment, but he's on the more corporate side. So this is an example of a sneaker that does work. The tonality of this outfit makes him look edgy and young, but he's professional. The one over to the right is an example of taking off that fleece vest, taking off that hoodie, and putting on a nice sweater. Still wearing jeans, not kind of going too far. One down is another substitute for the hoodie and the fleece vest, kind of a field jacket or just a nice button down clean. And then the rest of these options are really kind of confident layering options that aren't your suit and tie.
Yeah.
And so just showing how we can mix things up. And the skinny tie has a message of like, hey, I get it. I'm cool. I'm hip,
Yes, absolutely. Okay, these are all great shoulds. Let's talk about you've got four different principles that I want to share in some subsequent slides. And I think it's also important, Tiffany, to talk about the different regions where we work. You're heading to New York. I just came back from New York. When I travel to New York, I live in the Bay Area. I definitely shift what I'm wearing and change things up. So perhaps we can talk a little bit about that too. So I love this first principle that you have. Showing up with authenticity and confidence gives us that power to perform.
Yes.
So tell us what your clients say when they have that great outfit on.
It is when they have that great outfit on and they have the seal of approval before they go into the event, they feel like that is one thing that is off their plate. They're not worried about their outfit. They're not worried about how it's reading. They feel like what they can go into their event is focusing on what they do, focusing on their message, focusing on what they want to focus on. I think that when they walk out on stage, they hold their shoulders back, they hold their head up higher. There is an inner confidence to showing up as your best self.
Yeah, that's great.
And knowing that you are, and knowing that you put in that effort ahead of time. And so, yeah,
that's the last thing we want to think about is, are people judging me based on my outfit? And they are, because that's the kind of commentary that we get after. We'll say, oh, I liked what Jenna was wearing. I didn't like. I don't think that was appropriate. I mean, people feel very safe commenting on clothes. So it does create that connection, or it does create a barrier, gives you that sense of power to perform. And I think one of the cool things that you offer to a lot of your clients is they can just send you a picture and be like, is this good for my meeting tomorrow? And you'll say yes, no, or here's some things that we can do with it.
Absolutely. So, and sometimes I'm like, I'm sending a tailor to the house right now.
I love that you have it. You probably have one in every city too.
I do.
Hold on.
I do. And I'm like, hold on.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That is a clear message that we're taking away, is that we have to have things that fit us. Yes. All right. So this next one, this authenticity, but also walk the line. So you've said walk the line a couple of times. Tell us what you mean by that.
By walking the line, I mean always feeling like your true self. That's one of my favorite things to do, is to really pull out from somebody who they are, what their essence is, and what they want to convey to an audience or to their new work environment or existing work environment. Now, with that, we also have to then look at the environment, look at what city we're in, look at what kind of industry that we're in, and make sure that we're finding that perfect line between who you are and where you're working, and find that balance. And when I say walk the line, I mean, I feel like myself. I don't feel like I'm in an outfit that doesn't feel like me, but I'm also really respectful to where I'm at and the company that I'm at and the industry that I'm in and the city that I'm in.
Yeah, that's so important. I was in New York, as I mentioned, and I walked in, I had a dress on. I did not have nylons on. And I started looking around and I watched all of these women walking by in tights. They had their legs covered. So I raced to CVS. I bought one of those eggs. And I brought it into the meeting. And then I asked a couple women there, I said, do I need to put these on? And then I discovered that I didn't really need to. But asking that question, I would have been incredibly uncomfortable had I not asked that question, and kind of gotten approval from people who were there to know that that was okay or not okay.
And that's a California versus East Coast situation.
Absolutely.
Because
Versus
in the Bay
Midwest.
Area, you don't wear tights.
No, you don't. No.
And
even
New York
sometimes
in
in
the
the Midwest,
winter, you wear tights.
you wear tights.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
and we have different also galas and events that we go to. New York black tie is very different than West Coast black tie. So
Yes.
we have these geographical things. So yes.
Yes. So this one, know your audience, prepare to connect, make them feel comfortable listening to you. We've talked about this, but is there anything you want to add here? Maybe stories that you've had from clients about how they've felt post Tiffany intervention?
I think that there's an ease in feeling confident in oneself. And when you feel confident, you actually are more open to receiving people, listening to people. There's no self-conscious thing happening within you.
Yeah.
And I think that when you know your audience and you have prepared to connect with them visually through your look, they automatically feel more comfortable. This is where the suit tie comes down to taking off the tie, taking off the jacket.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody who's really young is going to feel comfortable asking you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is not going to find you intimidating. Or maybe you're at NASDAQ and you got to wear that suit and you got to look powerful. And somebody at this level is going to feel comfortable saying, I want your opinion.
That's right.
And
I think it's worthy of mentioning how much this secondary talk track runs through our head if we're not wearing what we think is appropriate.
Yes.
I was just talking to a group of folks the other day about this, and actually it was at a high school, and I asked, how many of you worry about what you wear going into the morning? I mean, remember in high school, we fretted nonstop about what to put on our bodies because we were worried about judgment. And guess what? There was judgment. People were checking each other out. But the second talk track that runs through your mind, if you're not wearing the right thing, is paralyzing. You can't hear anything else. You can't learn. You can't explore.
No,
you are
exactly.
so self-conscious.
And then that's when you're not open because you're actually so worried about something. And that's where the pre-prep comes in, as far as I'm working with an executive at the end of the week and we're doing the next 2 months of what she is going to wear. It's off her plate. She doesn't have to worry about it.
Oh, what a relief.
That internal dialogue, she'll say, nope, I got this covered.
I got at least one thing off my plate. I mean, I'm sure for these executives, she's got so many different balls in the air, and it's like, at least I can take this one off my plate. I love it.
Yes.
And this is why people like Tiffany exist and why they help, because she now doesn't have to worry about it. She prepared ahead of time. She's making that investment in herself. So I'm going to also say, a lot of times we don't feel like we should make this investment in us. And we think, it's not that important. I'm not going to be evaluated on this. But there's two things. One is what you've said a lot, which is your audience feels safer and more comfortable and you're more approachable for them. But the other thing is what it does to you and your mindset, and how, especially when the stakes are high, how you show up with confidence because you know you are wearing the right thing and you can let that go.
Yeah. And a lot of this, I really want to kind of define investment, because it's not always financial. I'm very much about a high-low. I'm very much about, that's another place of self-expression, is how much we want to spend on our clothes. It doesn't have to be a lot. They have to fit well. You have to prepare and you have to plan. So that's the investment. It doesn't have to be like, I have to go out and buy a bunch of expensive clothes. No, they have to fit well. They have to look good. And
unless you're walking into Dolce & Gabbana, then perhaps you might want to invest.
And you might want to level up a little.
That's right. Exactly. Here's some final thoughts from Tiffany. And you've got her information right here. If you'd like to contact her, you can also find her on LinkedIn. We really want to thank you all for coming today, for enjoying this session. And Tiffany, I can't thank you enough for joining us and for helping, because this is something that a lot of our clients really struggle with. So this is Tiffany. If you want her help, by all means, reach out. She's available. And thank you so much for
coming to take the stress out of this and make this not something that causes us anxiety, but something that is actually kind of fun and self-exploratory. So
love it. Love it. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
all right, thank you.